Little did we know that when we ended last week's episode with a discussion and speculation about the next Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, that a week later, we'd be right back here discussing the new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer and like
It's
a global trailer event.
It's hot off the presses.
It's hot off the presses. It just dropped 20 minutes ago.
20 minutes
ago.
We are.
We're here to talk about it. Oh my God. We're going to go around. First of all, let's comment on this like global trailer event. Like people are buying tickets to sit in a theater to watch a trailer.
Yes.
And do you know what this reminds me of? Do you remember when we were kids and all of a sudden they were doing like a new Star Wars movie, and the only way to watch a trailer for the new Star Wars movie episode 1 was to go, I don't even remember what movies were playing it, but you had to like, people were buying tickets to movies they could not give a shit less about just to go see a trailer. This is like the new era. This is the new era we're living in. You actually bought a ticket just for a trailer. You don't even get a movie.
Yep.
I was saying that I'm like, they better have played that thing like 3 or 4 times for those people, because I think a couple of them were saying that they've been waiting since like 8:30 a.m. It's like, I better get to take that in a couple times.
100% in the theater.
Tom Holland, right. Come on back out. Like, do a dance for us.
Yeah.
All right, let's stop wasting everyone's time. Let's talk about the brand new Spider-Man No Way Home trailer. Brad, we're going to start with you. Woo. Off you go, my friend.
Woo. First of all, that is a teaser. That is the definition of a teaser. I was so afraid they were just going to be like with everything. And I was like, no, don't do it. They didn't. That was a teaser. Oh, baby. That's what I'm talking about. That was beautiful. Well, I had to quickly make notes as to not be a sporadic moron in this podcast. You're flying into the darkness to fight ghosts. I got chills. Doc Ock. We got the first look at the Sinister Six for the most part. I don't even know.
But do we know, like, so hold on. Just there's Green Goblin, Doc Ock,
Electro,
Lizard, Sandman. So that's the Sinister Five.
That's correct. Our first looks.
But hang on.
We don't know who the 6th is.
But hang on. There is I'm just jumping right in here.
No, I like it.
No, this is what we need. This is what we need. Yeah.
There is a moment in this trailer, because I sat and tried to pause it over and over and over again, and it's that quick that I couldn't. I only got it for a second, and it's blurry. Yeah. But there is another goblin in that movie.
Yes.
Like there is a shot of
a glider. Yes, Kelly. I noticed it too.
And like a guy with a hood. And so to me.
Okay. I didn't know that was supposed to be somebody else.
Yeah, like to me, that looks like one of 2 people that were getting like a hobgoblin, or it may have been the Dane DeHaan version, like the Andrew Garfield Green Goblin that never got off the ground fully.
Yes.
Those are the 2 possibilities in my head. Now, that being said, like we're talking Sinister Six here, right? So if it's not Hobgoblin, like who knows how we're counting to 6, right? Because there's 2 versions of the Green Goblin in 2 different. So there could still be someone else, right? There's many ways to count to 6.
Yes, I like that.
So who knows?
If we get Hobgoblin, I'm gonna freak the hell out. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm gonna freak the hell out.
There has been some internet speculation that Ned will become the Hobgoblin because the lineage of Ned the character becomes the Hobgoblin.
There is that one arc. I
don't
guess.
know if I love that.
I don't love that. Like,
I don't think that.
I probably saw the joy drain from my face.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
I don't love that.
I think that'd be too much. Like, there's a lot going to be going on in this already. I don't think you need to add in a whole other layer. Let's also just talk about the contrast between the way that this trailer ended with Peter reaching down trying to catch Mary Jane, and the
Oh,
way
yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man 2 ended, and he
Oh,
couldn't
yeah.
catch her. How
Oh,
much
yeah.
you want to think somebody else is gonna swing in and try to catch
This
her? If
is
he
what I
can't-
just said. This
I was
is what
gonna
I
cry.
just was saying. I'm
Yeah.
like, these two scenes are too similar looking.
Yeah.
Very.
And there's too much mirror imaging going on to
Yes.
not
Oh
have
my
that be a moment where a familiar face comes in and gets some redemption, where he was unsuccessful in that mirror image
Correct.
scene.
I
Yes.
love how they didn't give it away, and it's just
Mhm.
alluding. Like he says
A
things
teaser.
like yeah, like his jaw's like out of place, and he like says to Mary Jane, he's like, I can't stop them. And
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
like, and then they're just gonna swing in, and you're gonna get this epic shot of the three of them standing there, and it's gonna be glorious.
I also just thought of one other thing that just popped in my head. I didn't even get a chance to make this note. I'm just running it back through my head, trying to think of things that I didn't already mention. Also, one of the final shots of Peter on top of the Statue of Liberty flame. Anybody else getting some original X-Men vibes from that? And you've got like the universe splitting and coming. I was like, I was like, we are hearkening back to some OG Marvel shit, and I am here for it.
Did you notice that like the building that he's on with all the scaffolding and stuff, like earlier in the trailer, there's like more of a wide shot of it, and there's like a Captain America
shield.
Yes.
So it's like
a monument.
A monument to Steve Rogers that they're all kind of culminating around. Like, let me just say this, if I can just say this for a moment.
No, this is a round table.
Two episodes ago, we talked about the concept of Marvel fatigue. And some of us, me included, me probably ahead of all of us, was like, I don't know, maybe it's coming. And then you see people today who waited since 8:30 in the morning to watch that. And you see the excitement coming, exuding from us right now. When they give us what we want.
Yeah.
When they give us
the people what they want.
That's true.
Yeah, when they hit us with the big players, like the biggest player in Marvel. You know, we've talked about this before. On DC, it's Batman, and Marvel, it's Spider-Man. Like, these are the two cash cows that people want to see. Marvel fandom is alive and well. I'll just retract what I was saying.
Well, I've been staunch in my stance. Like, rewind the tape to last week when I said, don't give us Toby and Andrew, give us more villains. But not only did they give us villains, as I pointed out earlier, they gave like allusions to the fact that he can't do this alone and that they're in the movie. Like, he says, I can't stop them. And then when it has Doc Ock has him up against the thing and he goes, you're not Peter Parker. And you're like, no, he's not. He's not in your world. No, he's not.
Also, can we also just talk about the fact that it's like Spider-Man 2 is probably on most people's list as the best Spider-Man movie. It's debatable.
Of all time?
I would say of all time. It's probably mine. It's probably mine. And that's no fault of any. I love almost all of them in their own way. But the thing for me was that Dr. Octopus, in my opinion, was one of my favorite villains in all of comic books. It was just cool. It was just really cool at the end of the day. And I loved that they made him scary in Spider-Man 2. Like, it was just something that it was like that scene where they were going to surgically remove the arms. Like, that was a scary scene.
Yeah.
That was a scary scene, especially when it came out. And the opening of this trailer with him busting through the highway and the way it was smashing the ground, it was like, oh, they're keeping up with it. They're keeping up with that kind of feeling of like, this is a scary, intimidating villain that is just going to ooze off the screen. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited that they've given him that kind of visceral edge again. And because I knew that there was going to be so many people in this that I was like, I hope they don't like not spent enough time on some of these characters. I mean, Green Goblin obviously as well, like all of them, but like Doc Ock was like always my guy. I'm so excited.
Well, see, it's interesting, Brad, because like my takeaway from the trailer is, so you've got him coming in that first scene, like on like the bridge or like the highway or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he's coming in and he's making an impact and he's scary and he's throwing him against a pole and stuff like that. But then you see the scene where they've got him like captured, which we can assume. But then
100%.
when I'm reading, and this is where Alfred Molina is like the perfect guy for this role back then and now, is he can sell both the captured, the visceral villain, as you described, and then like,
yes.
And then like them poking fun at him and him almost being like the goofy dad. I also bought that too.
Yeah.
And I almost think that like the where we're headed, if I'm kind of reading the trailer correctly, is like, I actually think there's going to be a relationship formed between him and Tom Holland's Peter Parker, which again, I can totally believe. And you can totally understand where like the crux of this movie is going, where, you know, and you're seeing some conflict between Peter and Doctor Strange telling him like, you know, man, this is how it's got to play out. And Tom Holland's going to go and make some decisions that he probably shouldn't, which is going to lead him to the ends. Like,
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I got all of these things from that trailer, but I'm also not feeling spoiled. Like I'm not sitting here like, I don't know what's going on. Rob, you're deep in research. What are you looking at, man?
We need to know.
I am zoomed in on this other glider shot.
Okay.
And it is this James Franco?
That was another option. That was
like,
I was going to say that. Yeah.
Is this James? Like he is not wearing a mask. It is definitely a goblin type thing because he's on a glider.
Sure.
And he's shooting like pumpkin objects, but they don't look the same as Norman Osborn's pumpkins. Is it
different pumpkins? Different
pumpkin bombs. Is it James Franco or Kelly? It might be Dane DeHaan.
Yeah.
He appears to have long hair. I am like frozen on this one shot, looking right at it. He's got goggles on. We should get
it up on the screen here.
He's got goggles on. It is like, wow. I'm wondering.
I mean, across the board, you can see that while all of these characters, like, I mean, we watched the trailer, we knew who they all were, but they all look a little refreshed. I gotta say, like the Green Goblin suit, while unmistakably that suit, there's something about the like texture of it that's better.
I think like, they've added, if you've seen, I don't know if it's fan art that I've seen, but or if it's legit, but they seem to have added hints of purple.
Yes,
to
they
it.
did.
And
it's like undertone. It's like in the shadowing or something.
Yes. And that makes it more comic accurate as opposed to the Power Rangery 2002 look.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah. I have no idea who this is. I could be James Franco.
I think there's a solid chance that they've maybe like, because you could. I know a lot of people have problems with that original suit, but like if they had just changed it, I think people would be furious. I really do. And even myself would be a little kind of like, well, I don't know if you should have changed it. I'm glad it almost maybe looks like they've made it like almost like a little sharper too. Like maybe they've kind of like slimmed it down, made it like a little bit more sleek. But even that, like it's such a quick, like this is a straight up teaser. I know I already said that, but again, to Kelly's point, I don't feel like anything got spoiled. I want those moments in the theater where people
these characters were in it. We knew these characters were in it. So they've shown us the right amount. Like we live in this age of social media. We live in this age of spoilers. We live in this age of fan theories. Like we knew this was coming. So I will give like hats off because there's been media rumblings that there's been a little bit of like, disagreement between like Sony and Marvel on how to market this movie. I don't know how much truth is to that, but this
Feige.
This is what the internet tells us, right?
Feige we trust.
Yeah. And so like I think they did a good job. I think they did a
it's
good job
incredible.
of showing us the right amount to get everyone really excited. I think even if you aren't totally like a fan of all the generations of Spider-Man movies, you still probably understood like what the heck was going on there.
Can we talk about the part where Doctor Strange is holding like the cube-like object?
Right. Yeah.
Peter goes to like steal it from him, and he's like, "Don't do it, kid."
Yeah.
And then he does the thing where he pushes him out of his body, and then that leads, because the first trailer there was a good chunk of the scene where it looks like him and Doctor Strange are fighting. So that is kind of, so there's some sort of like disagreement that happens.
Well, it sounds like they are essentially alluding to the fact that they need to die. Anybody that's now come into this being their like Tom Holland's universe as Spider-Man, that universe, anybody that's now come into that space can't stay there, because it sounds like it's a threat to, I don't know, splitting the time continuum, or who knows, the multiverse, whatever. So it sounds like he's essentially saying like, we need to get rid of these guys, in a sense of like, whether that means killing them or whatever it takes to get them the hell out. And Peter Parker's essentially going, we can't do that. That's not what I do.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a moral conundrum between the two of them, where it's like, you know, save the many for the few, or whatever the expression is, but it's essentially alluding to the fact that it's like, it's against his code. Where Doctor Strange is looking at the big picture, where, I mean, he always is, even in Infinity War and Endgame, he's always, you know, it's the broader scope, and that's what's the conflict is. At least that's how it read to me.
Well, and this is why I think there's going to be that relationship developed between him and Alfred Molina's character, because it's like, what is going to, like, obviously you're right, like Spider-Man as a character has a moral compass, but there is going to have to be something for the audience to understand and to like really get behind, like, no, don't hurt them, like to really like sell this, right? And so I think it's going to be that those two develop a relationship, but then we see some of these other characters come in who have worse agendas and who are less conflicted characters, and who have, you know, we have less empathy for them as characters. Like Willem Dafoe and that guy. Like,
oh my god, man. His little monologue. Oh my god, goosebumps.
He's got that perfect rasp in his voice. It's just like, yes,
goosebumps.
Let's go.
Goosebumps. It's I can't wait for the moment in this trailer. Like, there's so many things that, like, you think about this movie and you think about how cool it is with like the crossover and everything, but like the moment where Octavius or Green Goblin and come face to face again with Toby,
I know,
is gonna be like, hair on my arms is standing up just talking about it, man.
I know.
Oh my god. My god.
The thing I can't stop thinking about is the fact that this is easily going to be the biggest event since Endgame. And it's not surprising, but the parallels between the two is so fascinating to me, because again, it's like, or if you want to even say like Infinity War, because it was like the first time we were really getting all of the characters all together. And it was kind of this like culmination of years in the making. And while not the exact same, it has a very, very similar vibe as far as the hype, the amount of people that are involved, the amount of people who have their heartstrings attached to these different characters or these different iterations of characters, meaning like whether it was Toby, whether it was Andrew, whether it's Tom, it doesn't matter. Whoever's like Spider-Man it is, it's like you now are literally pulling together like what, 20 plus years, 21 years worth
the
of
hype
Spider-Man
for this movie is through the roof. People are streaming streams on YouTube.
I couldn't get over that.
Some girl is on her phone streaming on Twitter, and you have like 50 different YouTubers streaming her stream.
Oh, so you were watching the girl. I was watching the like 10-year-old boy named Noah. I was watching his stream, and they were like, yo, shout out, like, subscribe to Noah. So, you know, shout out Noah.
Yeah, Noah was
subscribe to Noah.
Shout out Noah.
Yeah.
All right. I want to talk a little like something we didn't see in the trailer, but not necessarily a spoiler because it's what Andrew, what's his name, said. Tom Holland. Sorry, I almost call him Andrew
Holland.
Garfield. Getting my Spider-Man mixed up.
I was gonna say it's not.
He
that,
said
not that strange.
he described this movie as emotional and sad.
Mm-hmm.
Is Tobey Maguire going to die in this movie? Because
That's what I thought.
I think he
okay.
It's the most that's at stake.
Yeah, there is.
They're not killing Tom. They're not killing Tom.
No,
there's no chance.
God,
There's
no.
no chance.
No,
Tom is like the leader of the new Avengers.
No, but so there was something. So in watching Noah's stream, shout out Noah. They had like Tom Holland came to this trailer event.
Yes.
And so there were two things that he said that stood out to me. One was not surprising, but still stood out that he said it was this movie brings together 3 generations of fans. So it's like, yes, like, and I get that you could take away the like, yep, these villains are from 3 generations, but come on, we're getting the 3 Spideys. And then the second thing he said was, this movie is a culmination of my era as Spider-Man. So
Tom Holland. If he spoiled something again.
No. I am not taking that as like his death is imminent.
No, not
but I just think that like there is going to be like
ramifications.
There's ramifications here. And I don't think that like at the end everyone's gonna be like, and we solved it and everything's fine and back to normal. So I am choosing the like emotional and sad thing to be less of watching. I think Toby dying is almost too
obvious
maybe. I don't know, but it's a possibility. I'm not going to say it's not a possibility.
Do you know what I keep thinking about is because again, it's like you are bringing back together these characters that we haven't seen together on the big screen. In some cases, like if you want to go all the way back to the original Spider-Man, when did that come out? 2002?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Something like the impact, okay, so to the point of you saying like it would be too easy in a way, it's like how many more cracks at the can would Toby really have to like come back? You know how I'm relating it? I'm relating it to Harrison Ford coming back as Han Solo.
Right.
Where it's like he ain't coming back again. Not again. So it's kind of like,
so we have to give him a swan song.
Let's give him like a bit of a swan song, because how old is Toby now? He's got to be in his mid to late 40s.
See, I'm not on the same wavelength as you. I think when he says that, he's talking about I think Tom Holland's Spider-Man universe is not going to be the same after this movie. And I think that has entirely to do with Sony and Marvel. And I think that's what he's alluding to, that going forward, it's not necessarily going to be the same, because there's a certain showdown with a certain symbiote coming that we saw in a post-credit scene. That's the only thing that can ruin this movie for Kelly.
Well,
that guy shows up.
Oh, Lord. I will say, though, like, now that you've kind of framed it up that way, Rob, like, we got that post-credit scene in Venom, so there's no way that showdown isn't happening.
Guys, we're looking for the 6th member of the Sinister Six.
I was already going to say it, and then I was like, I don't know.
We're looking for the 6th member of the Sinister Six.
Okay. Honestly, let me just say this. I love Tom Hardy as an actor. Like I do. I think he's a really talented guy. And I think if you go back and listen to our Venom review, it's clear that like my grievances with that movie are not about like the actors and like whatever. I would be 10 times more stoked if they were like, and Topher Grace has returned as I would be like, yes, like
Topher just shows up and Tom Holland's just in the background like, oh.
Yeah, like that you've got, 6th member 100%. No, there's just
no way.
I know it's gonna happen. I just don't want it to.
Can we talk? No, but when he says like the culmination, like I don't think he means it's ending, because
No.
Listen,
No, it's the
if you're
the
gonna
wrapping
do
up of
like
this,
we talked about it last week with like me going on about Eternals, and what I liked the most about it was like Arishem and like how that's setting up Galactus and the Secret Wars
Yes.
Avengers movie. Spider-Man is going to be a critical part of that. Like you can't tell me that he won't be a critical part of that. So I don't think it's ending like he's just gone per se, but I do think that there's been lots of reports about the friction between Marvel and Sony. And even in like the marketing of this movie, there's been lots of reports about it. And Sony is hell bent on getting Tom Hardy and Tom Holland in a movie together. And I could see Feige just washing his hands of that and going, okay, you do your thing, and then we'll bring him back.
We'll pick up the pieces.
Yeah, for the next Avengers movie. And that's what I
Yeah.
think. That's where I think he's going with a quote like that. Can we also comment quickly on his like badass like Doctor Strange suit that he's wearing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where he has like this Doctor Strange rings around his like forearm.
Yeah. What was up with that?
Can I geek out on you guys for a second? I
100%.
friggin'
That's what this is for.
What
one
have
of
you
the
been
things-
doing recently?
One of the
not
things I've always loved about Spider-Man is he has like 50 different suits. I love it. When I play the PS5 games, I'm always like, where can I get my next outfit? Like I am just
Rob,
like always
Rob
so
loves
stoked.
Rob loves a superhero that has an expansive wardrobe.
I do. I love it.
Correct.
Like
Yeah.
A deep
I love
closet.
it. Yeah, I love it. Like I love it. Like it's like give me all the Spider-Man suits. Like that's why I love the animated series when like he teams up with all the different Spider-Men and they're all wearing different suits. It's like I love it. I love it. Also,
Here's okay.
tight reference for anyone who's if you're watching this and you get this reference, I tip my hat to you. Is Doctor Strange playing a different version of the Beyonder in this movie?
I remember we discussed this.
Think of him as one from beyond. Call him the Beyonder.
Beyonder. It's very possible.
No,
it's very
not.
possible.
I'm
It
just
could
kidding.
be.
I'm
You
just
never
kidding.
know.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, listen. I got a point that I want to bring up as far as like I want to hear your guys' take because we know roughly what's gonna kind of go down in this movie. Not to the degree of like knowing like what the end game is of the movie itself, but more just like who's in this, where this is going. Sorry for the corny joke. But to me, it's kind of like it wouldn't be a Marvel Disney movie without introducing something else near either at the end, in the middle, something we weren't expecting to see. I'm thinking most likely at the end or in like a post-credit, mid-credit scene kind of area. Is this where we start kicking off things like Secret Wars characters that we've been waiting with bated breath to see, or like some sort of inclining of something or someone or particular groups?
Give me an
people, let's say?
S. Give me an O. Give me an N. Give me a Y. What does that spell? Venom.
Oh my god.
That's what you're gonna get, bro. You're not getting any allusion to
drawn
Marvel.
out.
You're not getting any allusion to Marvel MCU stuff.
Yeah.
You're not
you
getting
sure?
any
Do
of
you-
that. Yeah.
Mm,
Nope. All you're getting
okay.
is Sony going, and we're gonna take Spider-Man and we're gonna take Venom and they're gonna fight in a movie. And you guys are gonna come and watch.
I don't know though. I genuinely think that there's too many like deep ties going on between the studios
Brad,
now. Because
Brad,
like you said,
Brad,
hold
Brad.
on.
Brad, I can't see you properly through the rose-colored glasses you have on right now. Like seriously.
Okay.
Like,
Listen to me.
come on.
Listen to me. Listen
Hey
to
guys, let's all get along here.
Yeah, like no.
This is how we talk.
Yeah.
Listen, to me, like again, I just think that there's too many, like you've got so many characters being brought in from like the Marvel, the MCU into these kind of films now as well. The ties run too deep. There is no chance. To me, there is no chance that they are not going to try to elevate whatever the next project is. This movie is going to be humongous. humongous.
Oh, yeah.
There is no chance.
This is
that
the movie that
Disney-
ends COVID box office struggle.
Correct. So there
Yeah.
is no chance that Disney doesn't see the writing on the wall and leverage that to Sony and be like, because again, all we've been hearing is this between the two studios, whether it's been marketing or whatever. There's no chance that Disney went, we're not continuing with this unless we can leverage the next project. And whatever that next project is going to be big. And they want to springboard it off of this. I think they're going to introduce something, somebody, or some group. That's my opinion.
So if you wind back the tape to our Eternals review last week, like my issue with that movie was that it was a little overstuffed. So
Yeah.
for the sake of like me enjoying this movie and having this movie be good and be beyond just being like Marvel, like pow, 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 pow.
Yeah.
I hope, because like think about it. We just talked about this, the Sinister Six that's coming at us. Maybe Sinister 6.5 if they're gonna do someone in addition to this other glider guy. We've got 3 Spider-Men to get through. Who knows if there's going to be any other versions of other characters that we've seen.
Right. Yeah.
And then, there's rumblings and like, I we won't go down the rabbit hole of things on the internet that aren't super official, but then we've also seen rumblings of the introduction of a favorite of mine, the Devil of Hell's Kitchen. So
I think he's gonna have a super small part.
I do too.
Yeah.
But
Don't
my
care.
God, do I hope he's in this.
Yeah.
I think to me,
Also empty.
I'm gonna pray that Sony and Marvel can get along well enough and put their agendas aside to keep it at that, because I think that is all I want to handle. Because other than that, if we're doing more than that,
but
we're not spending the right amount of time with those characters, because then we're worried about whoever the hell else we're going to see in 3 movies from now. Rob.
2 things. One, Brad, there may be allusions to things going forward in the MCU in the movie, like little Easter eggs. But
don't backpedal.
But the predominant thing that they're gonna bash you over the head with in whatever post-credit scene or whatever is Venom. Like, get used to it. It's like,
I think you're right. I think that I agree.
That is what's happening.
That I agree with.
So there might be like, you might get like Doctor Strange saying some lines like, we've opened the multiverse, and alluding to celestials and stuff like you might get some of that. Okay.
I think it's gonna be more than that.
But the predominant like bash you over the head message that they're going to send, because it's Sony and that's what they do. They bash you over the head. They're going to say Venom and Spider-Man together. Yay.
Here's
my other theory.
My
other theory to what Kelly was saying there. So here's what I gather from this trailer. I don't think we're going to get a whole hell of a lot of Toby, Andrew, or Matt Murdock. I think that ends fight scene there that's taking place at that Captain America monument. I think that is going to be when Doctor Strange pulls the Spider-Men through the multiverse.
The Spider Boys.
The Spider Boys. Through the multiverse. And then that's when the 3 of them like team up. And
like
I don't think
we're getting Brad, you made the comparison earlier that this is like an end game. Like I think we're getting that end game level.
Yeah, where they walk through the portal. Act. Yes.
Dun, 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 dun.
Because they just want to watch the theater pop.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And have all those videos of people losing their minds.
Like I don't think we're gonna get like an hour of Toby and Andrew. I think we're gonna get 20 minutes of Toby and Andrew. That's what I honestly think. And I think same thing with, if we even get Daredevil in this movie. Like we are getting Matt Murdock. He's going to be Peter Parker's lawyer.
I don't think you introduce him and not give him like a swing in with a suit.
But then he'll show up at the same. I think he'll show up at the same time.
And
it'll be like
a
mini team 6 on 4. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Something like that. Or 5 if you count Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Right.
So yes. So I think that's, and what if it is James Franco and he is on the side of the good guys to help fight his father? Because if you remember, him and Peter kissed and made up at the end of Spider-Man 3, kind of.
That is true. That is
So
true.
Yeah.
what if it is James Franco and he does come through and he helps fight his father?
I'm so scared for Toby. I'm so scared for Toby. I'm so scared for him.
Do you think they're gonna have a scene where Toby's walking down the street and he pulls one of those on us?
No, I want all three. I want all three of them.
That's the post-credit scene. Is they win the battle and they walk down.
Just to go back to this for a second, I think the agenda of this movie is to push Sony. Like, I really do. Is Marvel going to capitalize and Disney going to capitalize and they're going to allude to what's coming? Yes. But I think at the end of the day, this is Sony's character. This is Sony's universe. These are Sony's movies that they're diving back into. I think the agenda of this movie, they literally had Andy Serkis shoo in a stupid post-credit scene at the end of Venom to get you hyped up. I think it's gonna be, the whole agenda at the end of this is going to be, now we are going to build to Spider-Man v Venom.
Here's my one thing I was gonna say. I'm gonna make you a bet right now. How about that?
Okay.
We're gonna do a little talk and pop bet. All right.
I will sit. If I'm wrong,
wager.
If I'm wrong, I will sit here on the show with a big bowl of crow and I will eat it in front of you.
I don't. Okay, don't kill crows. No. I agree with the Venom and stuff. This is gonna be like a Sony machine as well. I'm not at all disagreeing with that. But you alluded to rose-colored glasses. I'm going to bet you right now. I think they're either going to introduce some sort of multiverse, a Secret Wars character that we are building towards. We already know they're coming. I think they're gonna introduce something of that nature, whether it be X-Men related or Silver Surfer, something like that, or Fantastic Four, something. We are gonna get something in a mid, even if it's just very brief. Hold on. You said rose-colored glasses. I'm gonna bet you right now. I'm gonna go on Amazon and I'm gonna order a pair of rose-colored glasses. And the day after we see this movie, whoever's right has to wear it the whole
the rose-colored glasses. Okay.
Or excuse me, whoever's wrong has to wear them the whole.
Okay. All right. Deal.
All
right. And do I think we'll get to your point? Sorry, Kelly. To your point, do I think we'll get a new character? No, I don't. Do I think that we might see a Kang, or we might see a Celestial? Possibly.
It's already been introduced. Yeah, that would be a neutral, like.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
That's
yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
Let's just be clear.
I'm just gonna let you two, indulge in this wager. I'll just sit to the side and kind of spectate because
I'll order you a pair too, Kelly.
I mean, I'll wear them regardless. But if I can tell you my take,
yeah,
I think the reason why this movie is being marketed in the way that we just saw it, where people are buying tickets to watch the trailer, at this level, like Avengers level,
100%,
is because this is the last time that we are going to see Tom Holland like really in the MCU.
That's what I said.
I think that this is like an Avengers level event, culminating around like, to me it's like Feige's going, if you're taking this character back and if you guys are going to make a mess of what we've done, you better give us this big boy to finish off like this.
So you're saying if there's a Secret Wars, you don't think he's going to be in it?
I don't know. Like, I'm actually not holding out for that, to be honest, because I just think that
I wouldn't put it past Sony, honestly.
Yeah, like I gotta be honest. Like I think that Marvel and Sony came to an agreement on this where it was like, let's do everything in this movie to celebrate this character and like do all the things that Marvel would have like fantasized about, because we're taking them back and we're doing Sinister Six and we're gonna make our money and like do our own little, like, I don't want to be the pessimist here, but that's where I just see this going, because this movie, like, I did not like when it was announced, it didn't have this sort of like pomp and circumstance around, and now it's like what was that event today? Like, that's wild. So I just see this being like, I think Tom Holland is the reason why he's sad and all that stuff is because because you guys remember like the drama. This movie
Yep.
almost didn't happen.
Yep.
Mhm.
Like,
Yep.
Mhm.
and like he had to like call them like crying
Yeah.
and
we-
being like, please. So I won't weigh in on whether or not there's going to be little Easter eggs and things in this movie. I think, I think that that's up in the air. I think Marvel does a good job sometimes of doing that in. Sometimes it's a little more heavy handed, like in Eternals, and I'm okay about it. But
Mhm.
like the one thing I will say is I think that they are actually building to this in the same way that they, in a shorter time span. But like this is like the end game of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Hope
the
not.
thing I keep wondering about, I know, me too. That would actually, I would
Yeah.
be so bummed.
Yeah.
The thing that I keep thinking about, and it's totally fine if nobody here knows it. I don't. There's been so much over the last few years of who owns who and who's getting the rights back and this, that, and the next thing, to the point where I just kind of started going like, I'm just gonna watch the movies. Like it was just too much, like too much drama about like who owns who's borrowing who's lending this out, whatever. Excuse me, I guess it's Disney. Would Disney be getting that character back at some point? I thought they were already getting him back.
I don't think so. I think like if you look at like Sony's like doubling down on the Spider-Man universe with like, or
I
at this
thought they
point,
were-
like tripling
Yeah.
down. Like you've got a whole Venom universe. They've got Morbius. They're right in on all the video game franchises. They're like, but
Yeah.
the only thing
Mhm.
at the Disney Plus event, they announced a new Spider-Man animated show. I don't
Right.
know if that, like how
see,
much
that's what
you
I'm
want to
saying.
look into that,
It's
but
so
that is a
confusing.
show that's going on Disney Plus that features Spider-Man. So, but Kelly, I think your point is
Calm down.
well made. I'm so excited. I think your point is well made, and I'm there with
I
you in
agree.
that.
I agree.
That's what I think. That's what I think is happening here. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be
And
some.
so that's not to say that like like we're never going to see this character again. There isn't possibility for future negotiation.
I'm seeing-
You
There
wanna know what
isn't
I think?
still
I
some
think it's a
shared
one-off.
relationship.
Kelly, I honestly think that Feige looked at them and said, if you want to make a movie with your stupid, goofy, giant symbiote, we're gonna wash our hands of it, and you go make that movie, and it's gonna bomb because everything you do bombs unless I have my fingerprints on it. And then when you're done, as Brad said earlier, we'll
that makes
swoop
me
in and pick up the
so
pieces.
uncomfortable. I hate it. Do you think maybe like there's a world in which Peter, like this Peter, Tom Holland, goes
Mhm.
into one of the other? No, I don't know. Like I'm like, does he go into another universe for a
I don't
movie?
think so. No, I don't think so.
I doubt
think-
it. I doubt
don't
it
think
just
so.
because
don't
it's-
I
think so.
just don't want them to get their sticky hands on this like just
They've been playing with glue all day. and
Kelly,
now you're
no.
gonna touch a great
Kelly doesn't
character.
want them to get their symbiote covered hands
get out of here.
all
Oh,
over.
God.
But that's where we're going. Like
Mhm.
get
Partly
used to
at
it.
least, yeah.
Get your
And,
heads
like,
around it.
let me be
but-
very clear that like Venom should be the villain I'm most excited about. Should
Yes.
be.
Well, and that's why I was just gonna say too, maybe again. This maybe I'll say I'm being rose-colored glasses, but maybe
That's Brad's
we
alter
get-
ego.
we get. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're the
maybe-
one who says that you like everything. So
That's true. No, I
yes.
get it.
Yeah.
No, but I don't. That's the point. It's just, we've been on a good run. Okay. No, maybe this is their chance, because this is going to be such a fucking rocket ship of a movie, that this is going to be a great vehicle to get that character back on track. It might not be like a full-fledged like, oh, that character is just like finally awesome, but it might be enough to kind of circle the wagons, if you will. Again, that is just me. I agree. I'm just being
Watch
optimistic.
that movie?
What's the
Did you
opposite
watch
of
that
rose-colored
movie?
glasses? Because that's what Rob has on.
Did you watch? No, I'm sorry. If
Poo-colored
guys,
glasses.
I told you, I've said this to you. I've said this
Poop
to you. I
emojis.
said this after our Venom review. I said, I thought that the Let There Be Carnage was a steaming pile of garbage. But if they were going to put these two characters in a movie together If I saw the two words Kevin Feige associated with that movie, I was going to wash my hands of any preconceived thoughts and notions and whatever. I was going to go into it with fresh eyes. If there is no Kevin Feige and there is no Marvel Studios and there is no Disney and it is Tom Holland and Tom Hardy in a Sony production.
Concern.
It's
Let's
not
just
going to
say-
be good.
Let's just say there's
Not
a
good.
deep level of concern. Yeah.
It's going to make
be
Guardians
good.
of the Galaxy look like there isn't any jokes in that movie.
Oh
Oh,
God.
Because
no.
it's just gonna be wisecracking back and forth.
Yeah.
Anyways,
And on that note,
yeah. Oh no. All in all,
The trailer was great.
Let's wrap it
Yeah.
up on a positive note. The trailer was awesome. I'm so excited for this movie. It's like I'm stoked for this movie.
They
I'm
have
stoked for
my
this movie.
they have my money.
is
They
it
have my money.
Spider? Is it Spider Monday? Tickets go on sale.
Spider-Man. God, no, but seriously, like I know I've been saying this for
Spider-Man
weeks. COVID world, the box office and the movie theaters, like it hasn't been what it once was. I think this is the movie that
Truly.
kicks the doors down and is like, we're
back.
going to the big B.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to the billion. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very, very curious to know what this trailer ends up with at the 24-hour mark.
Yep.
Because
Oh,
there
it
have
was
been
it was
trailers-
at 2.2 million in 10 minutes.
yeah.
so-
There's gonna be this is the first time there's ever been like an event for
Yeah.
a trailer. And there have been other trailers that in the 24-hour span hit like 1 billion views or something. It was probably one of the Infinity or Endgame trailers.
Mhm.
Are we going to do a little wait? Let's do a little wager here too. Do you think it gets the record in the 24-hour mark?
Oh, the first one has the record.
Does
Yeah.
it?
This is going to
Yeah, it
shatter the
does.
record. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, then never
Yes.
mind. That's
this
a
is going to
terrible
shatter
bet.
the record. This is
Don't
gonna
take
shatter
that
the
bet,
record.
Brad. Don't take
All
that
right,
bet.
don't do
fine.
it.
I'm a betting man.
All right, guys. We'll get.
Yeah, we
we'll
just
get
found
outta
out on
here.
this episode that Brad has a gambling problem.
I have an
Yes,
issue.
yes, we do. Brad does have a gambling. Brad puts his rose-colored glasses on and gambles.
I know I'm going to win this time. Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll get out of here.
All right.
So next week I will not be here. Brad and Kelly will be here to review Ghostbusters. Are you guys excited?
I am incredibly excited.
It's gonna be I think it's gonna be
Sexiest-
cute.
Sexiest man alive.
Very
Sexiest
true.
man alive's in it. There you
Sexiest
go.
man alive.
That's worth
is
the money
lead.
in admission. There you go.
100%.
All
All right.
right.
Well, I look forward to listening to your review and seeing the movie, and then I'll give my 2 cents on it eventually. And yeah, but right now, all I'm thinking about is Spider-Man. As soon as we get off, I'm going to watch that trailer again. I'm going to watch it 50 more times tonight before I go to bed.
Let's break that record, guys.
100%. Thanks everybody for checking us out this week. If you like what you see, hit that like and subscribe button below. Also check us out on Instagram at Talk and Pop. Spread the word, tell your friends, the algorithm, all that fun stuff. We'll see you guys next week, or these two. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.